Hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning in to another ENTV entertainment segment. I'm Lila Wilcoxon. Today we're going to be jumping into a review on Marvel's newest Disney Plus series, Moon Knight. Spoilers for this series will be ahead, so if you haven't gotten a chance to finish it up yet, drop a like and come back later. So to give you a glimpse at the Season 1 synopsis that Marvel.com gives you, Moon Knight follows Stephen Grant, a mild-mannered gift shop employee who becomes plagued with blackouts and memories of another life. Stephen discovers he has dissociative identity disorder and shares a body with mercenary Mark Spector. And if you've watched the series, maybe somebody else. Straight out of the gate, I loved this series, and it very quickly jumped the lengths into being probably one of my favorite Marvel Disney Plus series that's been released. You know, I loved Hawkeye at the end of last year. I loved WandaVision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier has such a special place in my heart, along with Loki and all the other series. But this was really well done. I loved the storyline, loved the characters. Oscar Isaac does such an amazing job with this acting. It can be extremely difficult to play a character where you have to switch very easily and suddenly between completely different sides of a personality spectrum, and he does it flawlessly. Ethan Hawke, who plays Arthur Harrow in the show, also does an amazing job at playing this villainous, cult-like character, and he just did a fantastic job. I think the show had so many twists and turns. I mean, I watched it with a big group of friends and we laughed, we cried, we were gasping at certain points. It really felt like a Marvel level production. The stunts, the fight choreography, especially in the finale episode, were really well done, and I think it blended just the right amount of humor into some of them, especially when Stephen Grant's version of Moon Knight, Mr. Knight, is fighting, and how you kind of see him progress, and from the beginning of the series where he's kind of unsure of this ability and kind of goofy with it, doesn't know what he's doing with it, to the finale and on the boat scene where he realizes that he can do these things and that he is just as able as Moon Knight. I also loved Layla's character throughout the entire series, but especially towards the end where she gets the Scarlet Scarab-esque costume and personality-wise, and that reveal of the wings and the suit that she gets was impeccable. I loved it. I will say parts of the series are almost mind-bending. For example, I think it's the third or fourth episode where we get into the mental health facility or the asylum, and you're just kind of watching it and thinking, what is going on? And not in a negative way, but in a very, as I said, mind-bending way. And how in the asylum scene, how they tie in all these characters that you've seen throughout the series, such as Crawley, the living gold statue, or Donna from the gift shop holding the scarab. I think there were so many moments that once I watched the episode back again, there were so many little things that you pick up on. It's kind of insane. Definitely a Marvel throwing in a bunch of Easter eggs, but in a really good way. I will say I loved the characters, especially Stephen Grant from episode 1, and I think they did an amazing job with character work overall. And honestly, I thought I was going to be upset that it wasn't a longer running series just because of how much they were building up with it, and I was worried that they weren't going to be able to wrap it up in time, but I think it fit the 6 episode mark very well. I remember hearing that the finale was going to make record-breaking times, and I thought, oh, it's going to be like an hour-and-a-half long episode, but it actually flipped the opposite way and broke a record for being the shortest. I think it only ran in at about 44 minutes, which I was worried about. You know, I didn't want them to leave us on an extreme cliffhanger or felt like the series had to be rushed, but it didn't at all. It felt like they really used that 6 episode mark to the best of their ability, and I think they did an amazing job with that. I honestly can't think of something right off the top of my head that I wish they would have improved or worked on a little bit more. I mean, the pacing was good, obviously, as I mentioned, the character work was amazing, the stunts, the fight choreography. I didn't even have a problem with any CGI. Overall, I thought the series was really well done and definitely jumped the ranks into one of my favorite Marvel series that we've seen. All episodes are now streaming on Disney+, so take some time out of your day and watch it. I promise you won't regret it. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of ENTV Series Review, and keep an eye out for some segments over the summer.